Hola, hola, my name is Jackie, and in today's video I'll be discussing the series that I have not finished, unfinished series. So let's get started. The first series I want to talk about is one of my favorites, like all-time favorites. I love it so much, and it is the Darkest Mind series by Alexandra Bracken. Now, I'm pretty sure you've heard of The Darkest Minds if you watch anything here on BookTube, but it's basically this post-apocalyptic series in which the kids that... What the fuck am I trying to say? Okay. 3, 2, 1. So it's basically this post-apocalyptic series in which kids have acquired this disease here in the United States, I think. Yeah, here in the United States there has been this virus and it has affected children, right? And the consequences of this virus is that they have acquired abilities. So some of them are really deadly and some of them are not that deadly. They're really useful. So these kids were basically put into these rehabilitation camps in which they were forced into labor and they were mistreated and all that. They still are. There still are. Everyone that is a teenager is there, and those who have escaped are really lucky, but escaping is almost impossible in these camps. I really recommend the series if you want to go ahead and read it. I really love it, like I said before, and you should read it too. The next series I want to talk about is The Tiger Saga by Colleen Hook. Now, this is my most recent obsession that I've had. I am so obsessed with this series, you have no idea. Like, I giggle so uncontrollably in these series, like in these books are so full of life. The characters are great. I heard some people saying that they didn't like it because, I don't know, the first book, but I say just get over it. Like, it's not gonna be such a big part as the rest of the series, but there's still it's a really cool series. So let me tell you what it's about. I have the third book here. So this is, first of all, these covers are like super gorgeous. I have the other two, but I don't want to go and get it. I'm lazy. So I'm just going to tell you what they're about. They're basically, our main character is Kelsey, and she graduated out of high school. She's trying to get a job. She got a job at a circus, and there she's working with the animals, right? And so she meets this one white tiger, and it turns out that he's not just any old white tiger. He's a cursed prince from India, that he's like 300 years old or something. It's something really crazy like that. And he was cursed, and the whole series tries to follow them trying to break the curse with the help of many other people and other legends, like other Indian myths and just myths from around the world. I really, I don't know how to tell you to read the series anymore. I really love it, so you should read it too. The next series I want to talk about is Saga. Now, this is a graphic novel series, and I believe the 4th volume came out this month, or if not, somewhere in this fall it's gonna come out. But I've only read the first 2 volumes right now, and I really like it. It's a high fantasy series, and I'm not gonna try to describe it because it's really complex, but I really do recommend it, even though it's a little graphic. So if you're a youngin', you might want to be warned. But the story itself is just really amazing, and the art in the actual books is really great, and I highly recommend it. So read it. It's by Brian K. Vaughan, by the way. The next series I want to talk about is the Chaos Walking series by Patrick Ness. Patrick Ness has worked his way up to one of my favorite authors. I've read the first book of this Chaos Walking series. It's called The Knife of Never Letting Go. I've read Monster Calls, and I read another one, I don't remember what, but it's just, his writing is so beautiful, and oh my gosh, I can't even tell you. But what the series focuses on is it's basically a post-apocalyptic series in which you can hear other people's thoughts, and it's all, which is why it's chaos, because there's always noise. It's never any quiet. So men can express their thoughts out loud, women are silent, and the main population in this series is men. Women are really, really rare to be found, or I'm not sure because I've only read the first book, but it goes something like that. So it's a really interesting concept, and I really like our main character. He's so brave, even though he's just a little boy, and I really admire him. So I really recommend this series if you haven't read it. The next series is Penryn and the End of Days. The final books haven't released for the series. I've only read the first 2 books, and I love Penryn. This follows a post-apocalyptic series again, in which the world has gone to shambles, and the angels have descended, and they're ruling the humans, and they're really dangerous. They're not like nice angels. They're really bad angels. And our main character is just so kick-ass and awesome and funny, and she meets this angel, and together they're trying to save what is left of Earth. And it's a really contrasting thing, because Penryn doesn't know whether to trust this angel because they've obviously destroyed the human population, but she has to because she has no other choice. Her sister is taken by the angels and she has to save her. That is the main plot of the first book, and I really liked the series. So if you're looking for something that involves angels, go ahead and check this out. The next series is the Fifth Wave series by Mr. Rick Yancey. This is a post-apocalyptic, if you can't tell, I really love post-apocalyptic, and it involves aliens, and they've taken over the world, and they plan on killing the whole human population here on Earth by these different waves of killing. And so far they're succeeding, but our main character is really strong, along with all the other people she meets, and they're just trying to save what is left. It is called the Ascendance Trilogy. If you're wondering why I'm looking here, I have my notes here, so it's like I don't forget. It's called the Ascendance Trilogy by Jennifer Nielsen, and this is a high fantasy series. Not a high fantasy, just fantasy series in which our character, he's an orphan, and he is recruited by this nobleman. What this nobleman wants is he wants to find a duplicate of the prince that died from the kingdom. He wants to find a duplicate so he can take them and say, this is your son, so you should give him the money because he's your son, but they're not. So he's trying to trick the king and queen and the whole kingdom basically, and he is one of the 4 possible competitors for the role of the prince, and so he takes it up, and he wants to help the kingdom and wants to break away from the nobleman. Connor is the name of the nobleman, because his intentions just aren't good for the kingdom, and he wants to try to save the kingdom in any way possible. So it's a really good series if you're looking for fantasy, and I don't really hear that much about it here on BookTube, but I really do recommend it, so check it out. And anyway, that is it for this video, and I hope you liked it. I don't know, maybe not. Okay, so I'm gonna go because I'm getting a little bit scared, but I'll see you guys in my next video. Okay, bye.